Hello, how are you? Welcome to your general weekly reading for the week of January 7th, 2019. So, how was your first week in 2019? I hope it was amazing. Take a few moments after this video to reflect on the year so far, this 1 week that you've had in this new energy, and see what's different, what's changed, how you're feeling. I was talking with a friend the other day, and we were talking about New Year's resolutions. So did you pick a New Year's resolution, or did you decide to be more gentle with yourself this year and just kind of ease into things and adjust as needed? So let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you, and I would love to know if you do have a resolution, what that resolution is. So this week I will be using the Everyday Witch Tarot cards by Deborah Blake and intuiting any additional information that comes in from our guides and from the universe so that we have the absolute best understanding on what is to come in the upcoming week. So tuning into the energy this week, it seems a little bit subtle, more subtle than I have felt last year in 2018. I'm feeling a little bit of head tension. So just be gentle with yourself if you feel like there's a headache coming on for you. Just nurture yourself in whatever way you need to in order to let that move through you. It is old stuff clearing out. So for some of you, this is old patterns. If you've been setting intentions for this year that are, I guess, more aligned with your divinity, some of those old patterns that are keeping you in the old way and those old habits and those old patterns that aren't really serving you will be clearing out so that you no longer feel the urge to go back or regress to those old patterns and old habits, and that you can kind of just flow into the new habits more effortlessly because it's more in alignment with who you truly are in that divinity. So with that comes clearing, and so depending on how big whatever you need is to clear, it could hurt a little bit, this in the form of a headache or just exhaustion, those kinds of things. But for the most part, I think this week should be pretty low key. There's no huge feelings erupting inside of me in the moment. Yeah, it'll just be a week of clearing. So for some of you, it might be more gentle than others. So just take note of that anytime you're feeling any sort of inconvenience in your body or anything like that. Just note that it is clearing and just serve yourself in whatever way that you need to in order to do that. And if you haven't yet watched the annual tarot card reading that I did, I posted it on the 1st, I believe. Please feel free to go and watch that to get a better understanding on what is to come in the upcoming year. It seems to be a big year around career. So go take note of that. If that's something that you want to work on this year, maybe there's some nuggets of wisdom in there for you in order to serve you in that way. Right, so what can we expect for January the 7th? Okay, and excuse my running nose, it just started running as we were doing this reading. So as we know, everything that happens during this reading is a message for you. So if you are clearing, you also may have a running nose, because that's a really great way for the energy to run through us, is to give us a runny nose. So if you're sick or anything like that, of course serve yourself, but it could just be all of the clearing that's happening in order for you to move into this new higher level of consciousness. Okay, so for the general theme of this week, we have Strength, which is a major arcana card. It's funny, I was just working with my meditation this morning, a lion. So that's interesting that the lion has showed up here in this general weekly reading. So this week, this theme is about our strength, our own personal strength. It's hard to go back into reality after the holiday season. It seems to be this very chill time of year for some of us. It's more after the holidays that things kind of slow down and stop and people start to rest and rejuvenate a little bit. But it's having that strength to go into your routine again from that higher state of consciousness. You don't have to allow your old behaviors to come into 2019. However, if they do creep into 2019, that's okay. Things don't always change overnight. So sometimes things are just a slower progress. But what's happening is if you have the strength to set intentions for what you want, if you have the strength to set these crazy goals that you have that are dreams, if you have the courage to step out and to actually make it real and to put it on paper or to say it out loud, these are the pieces that will start to change, and the universe will of course help you to rewrite that programming in you in order for you to step into that role more fully. So that allows you to, as you increase your frequency or your vibration, those things that don't attract to that vibration will just naturally fall away. And so that's why sometimes in our lives when we are reaching new heights of, we're feeling better, we're doing better, those old friendships or those old patterns we don't really crave them anymore. It's like when you're exercising like more frequently and you start to crave healthy foods and you're not really craving bad foods anymore. That's the same kind of thing. So those kinds of old habits and cravings and patterns will fall away. So this week is about having the courage to step into that, and also knowing that if you do step into those old patterns, that you don't actually have to live there. You actually have so much power in your brain to just stand up and not do it anymore. So have the strength, use this energy this week that is guiding you to have the strength and to go into your week from a different perspective. And if you're not in a space that you want to be in, job, career, relationships, home, whatever it may be, empower yourself to rise up and to look at it from a different perspective and to have gratitude for it. And even though it's not exactly what you want and where you want to be, there is blessings there. And knowing that you do have the strength and the power to walk away from the situation, even if it doesn't feel like you can. You always have free will choice. You do have the power. You do have the answers within you. So it might be for some of you taking that power back and making a permanent change in a realm that perhaps you feel you're victimized by or that you're feeling trapped in. So we'll move on. So we have the Eight of Swords. So this is kind of carrying off of the message that we just talked about here. The Eight of Swords is about feeling trapped. It's about, really about self-entrapment, because all she really needs to do is wiggle her hands a little bit and get free and then take her blindfold off. She's not actually stuck anywhere. She can just walk through the swords. And there is this little bird of hope at the very top there that is a symbol of hope. And there's also her trusty little friend, her little cat, who can just push on the swords and it'll just probably fall over. So if this is you, set yourself free. You do have the power to set yourself free in whatever area you are feeling anxious or trapped or powerless. You never want to feel powerless. If you are feeling powerless, it's because you've given your power away. So figure out how to take your power back. And maybe it's not taking an enormous leap, but maybe it's remembering that you're choosing to stay in this job, relationship, home, whatever the case may be. And that sense of power and knowing I'm actually going to leave this one day will give you, will kind of set you free in a way. So you haven't actually made any physical actions, but you making a decision to set yourself free is very empowering, and it will give you, and you will be able to make that decision with this strength card as well. Okay, so for the middle of the week, we have the Two of Cups. And so the Two of Cups is a card of love and romance, partnership. Most often it is about romantic love, but because this is a general reading, for those of you who it's not romantic love, it's still a great partnership. This person is a great person for you to work with in some capacity, whether it's friendship, relationship, romantic relationship, or business partnership. these people are really great for you to connect in with and to make a part of your life. So be open this week to those people who walk into your life. Don't disregard somebody just because they're not exactly what you would imagine yourself wanting in a business partner, romantic partner, or best friend. Be open to everybody who walks into your life and connect into your own self and your own spirit to see if your spirit recognizes theirs, and if they feel good within you, if they feel like a person that you actually feel safe with and you want to connect with. Go forward with that. Don't allow your mind to judge other people before your energy has had a second to discern whether somebody is the right person for you. So this looks like a great week so far. And for those of you who do meet your romantic partner this week, congratulations. Keep an open mind and have strength. Don't allow yourself to get completely swept up and lost in the relationship. Be discerning and be sure that you are recognizing the truth in the situation and that you're not making things different than what they actually are. One thing they're actually saying is, for some of you, it's you think the romantic partner is one person in your life. You believe that you've met them, but then there's actually somebody over here that's like, no, I'm the person. So look at all the people in your life that either you come into contact with this week or anybody new who walks in, and connect into yourself without your mind, and just check in with yourself on each person and see the gut reaction that you'll feel. Those nervous butterflies they're not always good, and they're not always bad. Sometimes it's a warning, and sometimes it is simply just being excited about somebody. It's a very thin line, so you need to really connect into yourself to feel what is right for you and what's not, and use that power, use that discernment in order for you to make the right decisions going forward. And it might just be, going on a couple dates with all people, every person that does walk into your life, and just giving them a fair chance, and without you trying to insert your own ego or your own mental judgments of the situation, whether they are good or bad, but just go forward without allowing your own personal judgments get in the way and morph it into something that it's not. Okay, and then on the weekend we have the Three of Swords. So they're saying for some of you, this is a very short-lived romance. Somebody walks into your life and then simply walks out. I think it is more so, be careful not to, this is kind of what they were talking about before about the discernment. So somebody coming in who looks like this is great. But if you do not use your discernment in your own energy, in your own spirit, or you're using too much of your ego, this could naturally just happen because it's not the right person, or you've pushed the person away yourself, and then you end up with a broken heart. For those of you who it's not a romantic relationship, this could just be old patterns that are clearing from a broken heart. This is a lot of really mental focused energy. So what does your mind tell your emotions is true? So what do you make up to be real in your own head, and how does that make you feel? And are those things actually real, or are they just stories that you've made up in your own head? This is not to put you into fear. It's simply to encourage you to discern which relationships are worth giving all of you, and which relationships are perhaps needing to be trimmed back a little bit so that you can protect and conserve your own energy, really. You don't have to give everything that you have to everybody. You can still send people love without giving them each piece of you. For some of you, this on the weekend is this broken heart energy is about clearing all of those old patterns so that you can step fully into this new relationship, whatever the relationship is. But for some of you, this is an ending of something. it doesn't have to necessarily be permanent, but it could just be a temporary lapse in time where you are connecting into this brokenhearted energy, or that it is that something happened that actually will lead you down this path. But it doesn't have to be permanent. You don't have to sit in this feeling of depression or misery for very long. You have the power to pull yourself out of it. It's very interesting energy this week. Is there anything else we need to know? So yes, the one last thing that I will say is this: we talked about being trapped. So for some of us, when we go through a breakup of any kind, with any time of ending, we go into this really sad, self-loathing type of place. That's a trap. That's an ego trap. That's something that you put yourself in so that you make yourself hurt more than anyone else can. It is a tricky way to collect your power, bring your power back to you once you feel that it's lost because of whatever this person or situation has done to make you feel this brokenhearted way. So they just want to know that this is also a trap. This brokenhearted feeling, it's not something that you need to let consume you, and it is something that you can break yourself free out of by taking healthy steps and by listening to your intuition and not your ego. It's about quieting the mind when the mind is telling you that you're a bad person or that this person, that you deserve it or whatever it is. It's about trusting in your own energy, feeling the emotions that are coming up to you, but not allowing them to overtake you and take you down a road that is not serving you or is not good for you. So don't fall into the trap. Set yourself free from whatever you are feeling trapped in your life. Set yourself free, because it doesn't have to take over your life. It doesn't have to own you. And you are a very powerful being, and you just have to decide. And you have that strength behind you. And if you do go through any sort of heartbreak this week, my heart is out for you. I love you. I'm sending you so much love, but you are also receiving so much love and so much courage from this universal energy that's influencing us all week. So connect into this anytime you are feeling this. Know that you are strong, that you can break free from this brokenhearted energy. And you can use your strength to discern, and you can use your strength to set yourself free from any situation. And that's all there is. Thank you so much for being here. I so do appreciate it. If you have not already, please subscribe to my website at katiehunt.ca. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe, like, and share so that you can always be in the know for these weekly readings. Thank you so much for being here. If you would like a private reading with me, you can email me at thejourneytospirit@gmail.com. And I hope that you have the best week ever, remembering how strong and wonderful and beautiful you are, and how you can set yourself free from all of the entrapment that you have created for yourself. I'm sending you so much love. Take care.